Have you bought a course you didn't finish? Have your clients not finished yours? Have you ever thought about why? How does not finishing a course affect business? In this video, we are going to answer those questions. Who am I? Dr. Catrina Mitchum, and I've been designing and redesigning courses online since 2009. So first we're going to talk a little bit about what course completion means. It can mean getting to the end of the course, but it can also mean just getting to the goal that the course intended. The point is, we don't want clients to stop the course before they've actually reached the goal that they came to you to reach. There are lots of reasons that people stop a course, but most folks stop course progress, no matter how invested and motivated they are at the beginning, for one of a few reasons. In this series, we're going to call those reasons hurdles to completion. So some hurdles that they might find are the marketing doesn't match the course, or their expectations and their experiences just don't match up. What they think they're going to get out of the course and what they see when they get in there, or what they experience when they get in there, isn't in alignment. Too much theory and content and not enough actionable steps. Things are disconnected, so activities might be disconnected from content might be disconnected from other content. Things just are not following an actual learning journey, not being at the right skill set. So somebody might be coming to you as a beginner and you don't have enough of the background stuff that they need to be able to progress beyond beginner. Or even more frustrating sometimes, somebody can come with an intermediate skill level or intermediate knowledge and you're having them do all of these things that are boring, right? They're going to stop. It's a hurdle. You want to make sure that things are at the right level for the people coming to you for that particular course. There's no clear path to get to the goal, or things feel like busy work. People get overwhelmed, and that can be overwhelmed with your course, depending on the design and your onboarding and your navigation and what you're asking them to do. But they can also just get overwhelmed with things outside of the course. And when that happens, your course is going to be the last thing on their list. It drops to the bottom of the pile because there are things that come up in life that are just vastly more important than learning something new. We need our basic needs met in our lives in order to be able to learn. And so if life things come up, the learning goes to the bottom of the list. Being unsupported or under-supported. And so that is not having enough support in a variety of different ways in order to get through the course, or offering support that is in fact itself a hurdle. Accessibility, if you've seen my videos before, you know that accessibility is a hurdle. Content hurdles. So there are lots of different content hurdles, but some of the more common ones are the content not matching the activities, and also the content not being available in more than one format or in the right format. Forgetting that your clients are human. And so there's no flexibility, there's no options. Things are kind of a one size fits all, and that's not actually how people are or how learning works. A common hurdle for both course creators and their clients is often tech issues. Another hurdle is time, and this can kind of fit into the overwhelm and the life happens things, but time is also something that is culturally influenced and often very personal. We can experience time in different ways, and so that's why I have time here separate, and there are things that you can do to remove, hurdles that are related to time. And while there are more, the last one that I'm going to cover is that it's not engaging. And this does relate to kind of that learning journey that I mentioned, but things like the videos are too long, or there's no actionable steps, or things don't feel cohesive. Those are things that are going to prevent people from engaging with the content, engaging with the tasks, and being successful at the end. So that's a long list. Those are hurdles that I'm going to cover in the rest of this series in more detail. But why does this matter? If someone buys a course from you and it just sits on their digital shelf collecting dust, or they started it and they couldn't get past a certain point, it gets filed in one way or another. They're not going to rave about you. They're not going to suggest your course to other people. They're not going to recommend you. They're not going to recommend your more expensive services. And they're certainly not going to buy from you again. When someone has a bad experience in a course, and courses are often kind of the lower ticket items in a spread of products and services, then they'll never get to buy. They may not have anyway, but they definitely won't ever get to buying the more expensive things that you offer. If you want a sustainable business that includes courses, then you're going to need to set your clients up for success. And that means removing hurdles. Finishing doesn't have to mean getting to the end, right? Checking that last box in the module. But it should be about getting to the goal, getting to the whole reason they signed up for the course, the reason they're looking for that change, the change they're looking to make. That sometimes does mean getting to the end, but not always. So in this series, we're going to focus on removing the hurdles so that your learners can reach the goals that they came to you for, can get to the end if the end is the thing that's going to help them change. Because by removing those hurdles, you can set your client up for success. In next week's video, we're going to cover addressing that first kind of critical piece that you have no control over, which is your clients being human. And we're going to cover some of the things that you can do in order to help them even when the outside world, the world outside your course, starts to pull them away from your course.